I should like to thank and congratulate you, Abby, Alex, and other members of the Vitiligo Society team in getting together such a distinguished and experienced panel of experts. And I'm delighted to say a few words by way of brief introduction. I've been interested in various aspects of vitiligo, from the genetic to the psychological, from the causative mechanisms to therapeutics, from epidemiology to guidelines, since the early 1990s, in other words, for more than 30 years. And I've seen a lot of changes in most of these areas over that time. Back then, often one of the most valuable approaches doctors could offer to the patient was simply to listen to what they had to say. All too often in the past, doctors have been rather dismissive of vitiligo, sometimes because they've seen it as a trivial condition, which we know it not to be, but at other times because they felt helpless in terms of having relatively few treatments that would make any difference. Indeed, in the past, it has been in only a relatively small number of patients that with certain presentations of vitiligo that we've been able to offer treatments that produced acceptable, significant, or permanent repigmentation. However, times are changing, and I think that more widely appropriate treatments will soon be coming to the market in the UK. So I think it's a good time to be looking at what may be coming along in terms of treatment for vitiligo. Over the past 5 years, there have been considerable advances in our understanding of the causes of vitiligo, and perhaps more importantly to patients, as I've mentioned, the appearances of treatments that may work better. And these advances have really been greater than what we had seen over the preceding quarter of a century. This afternoon, the Vitiligo Society has assembled specialists with expertise in a variety of aspects of vitiligo. Really, there are 3 themes. These range from the causes and genetics of vitiligo to guidelines that will enable non-specialists to prescribe appropriate treatments, to how to assess responses in clinical trials, to treatments including ultraviolet and laser light, and to the psychological support that many patients find helpful and which should be more widely available throughout the UK. We are grateful to these specialists for giving up their time to talk to us. One of the main areas of great promise is the licensing of the so-called JAK1 inhibitor drugs, which may be used both topically and orally, and I'm sure speakers will be mentioning these. That's all I want to say by way of introduction, and I'm going to hand you back to John to introduce the first speaker. Thank you.